orange zest, mango, papaya, and hopefully no boxes. Today, we're drinking Juicebox. Hi guys, it's Jim here from drtankenstein.com with another episode of Beers of the British Isles. This is the show where I drink and review beers that can be found in the aisles of supermarkets up and down Britain. On today's episode, I've picked up a can of Juicebox by Fourpure. Now, this is unique in the price, basically. Normally there are two prices of beer in a supermarket. You get the high and you get the low. This is somewhere in the middle. So this costs £2.50 per can, but it's also included in the 4 for 6 or the 3 for 5, or, you know, that offer that goes on, whatever it is. Which I think is interesting. So I guess if you look at it like that, you know, cost per offer, this is the best value beer we've ever done. Now, this is a citrus American IPA. Not an orange, even though that seems to be all they've put on the can. It's a citrus American IPA. You can expect orange zest, papaya, mango, all those things I listed earlier. Now, it comes in at 5.9% ABV, which is, you know, it's quite strong. You know, 6% is up there, with 50 IBUs, which is quite bitter, really. It's definitely in the IPA range, you know. If you compare the alcohol to the bitterness, you know, it's right up there. But what I don't know is, so this is kind of setting itself up to be almost a traditional IPA, you know, nice and bitter, crisp. Malt in the background but not obvious. Now IBU, the bitterness unit, only refers to the bitterness attributed by the hops that are in the beer. If you've ever put some let's say citrus zest in your mouth or in a beer like these guys have done, you'll know that's quite bitter too. So I'm wondering how bitter this beer is actually going to come across as. You know, because if you've got the IBUs and then you add the fruit bitterness on top, what's it going to come out as? My criticism of citrus beers, orange beers, grapefruit beers, not lemon beers, they never fall into this, but my criticism is that they're too sweet and too synthetic tasting. Now, I'm not saying that that's this because I haven't even tried it yet. It's still closed. But that's what I usually find. I usually find that, well, this is just my cynical mind. I usually think, have they put all this citrus in there to mask a bad beer, basically? I'm sure this won't be the case for this beer, but there's only one way to find out. Let's dive in. First impressions. This looks like a beer. It might not look it to you, but it's much clearer than other beers have been, I guess, which is nice to see. You know, it's a nice sort of golden color. You know, a real nice golden color. Quite clear. Good head on it. You know, I mean, that's it. It looks like a beer. If there's a fruit bowl hiding under the surface, all the better. Let's find out. Okay, so I can't really smell citrus. I can smell orange, if anything. Even though this is a citrus IPA, not an orange IPA, even though the can suggests otherwise. Okay, yeah. I get orange on the nose. You know, prove me wrong. You know. Okay. That's quite complex. That is quite good. That's really complex, actually. So, as I'm obviously I've got this orange fascination. I need to forget about the oranges, but it does taste like orange. It initially tastes like orange, but then as the beer follows the orange flavor, a bit of sweetness catches up to it, so then you get kind of a satsuma, clementine kind of flavor, and then that then kind of just keeps molding as you drink more of it. Man, yeah. What I will say, my comments earlier about the bitterness, it is quite bitter. It is quite bitter, but it's. I'm not going to say it's balanced because it's not, because it is bitter, but it's not overly bitter, but it is bitter. Okay. Basically, if you're expecting a juice box, it's not that. If you're expecting a juicy IPA, it's not that. This is bitter, okay? There is bitterness to it. Not in a bad way, just in a way that, you know, it's a bitter beer. It's an IPA. It's an IPA. If you wanted to know my comments on the beer part of this beer, if you've ever had a shandy or a radler, then it's kind of like that. You know, it's chased down by, you know, sweetness and bitterness. It's kind of clouded. It's pleasant. It's pleasant. It's pleasant, but it's still quite heavy in your mouth. It's a very complex beer. I think they've done quite a good job with the citrus, to be honest. The citrus. All right, citrus. All right, it is citrus. The citrus by far overpowers everything, but with a name like Juicebox, that's what you want. The brewery that made these beers, Fourpure, they're based in London. You know, another London-based brewery, you know, pumping out good stuff. It's founded by two brothers back in, I think it was 2013. So one of the brothers was a home brewer, wanted to scale up and make more beer, and the other brother was a traveller who travelled to America and wanted to come home and drink American beer. So they joined forces and you know, made a brewery. I wish I had a brother like that. Now I don't take this right. So this is like of the British craft breweries that are in supermarkets. Other than Brewdog, I think I've noticed Fourpure for the longest period of time. So they've been in supermarkets for quite a long time. I don't know enough about the industry to know what that means. It's just, you know, they've been around for a while, basically. And, you know, they're kind of, I don't take this the wrong way. They're kind of middle of the road beers. You know, they don't blow your socks off, but they're quite nice. This one's different. I think this one really tried to do something which I think is good. Okay, to sum up then, this beer. It, first and foremost, is a citrus IPA. It's not just an orange IPA, no matter how misleading the can may be in that respect. It is a citrus IPA. When you smell it, you get orange. When you taste it, you initially get orange, but it's followed by a whole bouquet of citrus flavors. Now, you could give this beer to a non-beer drinker or a beer drinker, and I think that they would, you know, both those demographics could enjoy this, because this is so citrusy that you can forget that you're drinking a beer. Like I said, if you really hone in and focus on the actual beer side of this, it's almost shandy-ish. It's almost radler-ish. You know, it's the beer is largely thrown to the side in this. But that being said, it is very pleasant, and would I drink another one? I'm not sure, but I'm not a citrus guy. If you're a citrus guy, you're gonna love this. It's a very good citrus beer. Careful to say citrus. Now, I don't like to give ratings max out of 10, but what I will say is, if this beer were a song, and feel free to listen to this song as you drink the beer, it would be All of the Lights by Kanye West, featuring Rihanna, featuring Kid Cudi. Because this is an IPA, but there's so much orange in it that you could forget that you're drinking an IPA. That's a Kanye West song. There's so much Rihanna in it that you could forget who wrote the thing. Now, I think that if you're a fan of citrus beers, not just orange beers, citrus beers, if you're a fan of citrus beers, head down to your local supermarket and pick up the premium priced £2.50 a can Juicebox IPA by Fourpure. Pick one up, enjoy it, because it's a good citrus beer. And if you do enjoy it, let me know what you think. But more importantly, grab the can, take it down to your local craft bottle shop, your local independent bottle shop. Tell them that you like this beer, and they will give you examples of this that will blow your mind, I'm sure. In the meantime, guys, cheers.